big oversized load with no load. Oversized load big. Got to do this one quick because we're about to run out of.
Didn't you say that?
What?
Didn't you say that?
Say what? What are you tripping on, Buttercup? Look, got my microphone on so that I can appease all the people with hearing impairments. So they don't bitch about the quality. Now I just got to get a camera so I can please the ones who don't like the video quality. And then I got to send $20 to my local FOP to please the ones who like to taste boot leather on a daily basis. So today is Nick's birthday. He would have been 24 today. Damn, 3 years has went by quick. Me and Trey and I were just talking about that. I missed my turn. Probably gonna lose service here in a second. But I'm sure you guys have heard, Tractor Supply supporting the Waco LGBTQ XYZ plus Elemental P drag queen story hour that was supposed to be family friendly, but we know what family friendly means in that case. I mean, these are fucked up people with fucked up ways of thinking. They think that, that if I walked into a doctor's office and said, hey, I feel like an amputee, can you cut my arm off? That would be that would be psycho, right? I'd be mentally ill then. But if I walk in and say, hey, can you cut my dick off because I feel like a female, that's normal. There's no logic to it. But anyway, so there's a couple of large YouTube channels, real big ones, some little smaller ones bitching about the big ones, and now I'm bitching about all of them because I'm super small. Not why, I'm just bitching about it because it needs to be bitched about. So you had the large channels that are protecting the children's, allegedly. They just care about the children, so they're worried about this. When if I did the same thing that they do with these story hours at my home in front of my own kids, or the library, or a Tractor Supply, or a convention center, fucking anywhere, the good little police officers would show up and drag me off to jail. Now, do I think the police should do it? No, but rightfully some shit should happen to me. Probably should be shot in the fucking head. But I don't know if anybody has noticed or not who's not showing up to these story hours. And when they do show up to these story hours, they are not only allowing it to happen, allowing this shit to take place, but they're defending what is happening. Sorry. Defending it. And that would be the police. So I don't think that you're I get it. It's the whole, I believe this thing is wrong, therefore I'm going to protect the children and I'm going to complain about it and stop spending my money there. Motherfucker, Walmart does the same fucking thing. Walmart has donated millions. They didn't just have a banner to support one of these things. They've donated millions into this very freaking thing. Go look it up. To these drag queen story hours, where story hour reading a book turns into shaking your dick at little kids, or not your dick, shaking your taped back dick, your tucked dick. What am I looking? Come on, help me out here.
What?
What are they doing here?
What do you mean?
Showing fake titties and they tuck it and they shake it, so they're shaking their dick. Which I guess some of them may not have a dick. Hell, I don't know. I ain't never watched it.
I don't even
All the way out the road here, but they're too stupid to figure out that's. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, you got to slow down that much. I'm just stopping to give you all a break. But when it comes to protecting the children, it's like anything else. In my opinion, this is my opinion, and we can argue about to the fucking end of time. I'm never going to convince you. You're never going to convince me. The only difference is that there's some facts to back what I say. Normally, there's not too many facts to back what you say. It's being allowed to happen by those who are supposed to stop bad shit from happening, supposedly. But they don't, because everywhere that one of these drag queen story hours happens at, all the good cops are on vacation. They're always on vacation for some reason in all these places. But the same fucking cops in the same fucking town went to some home And because there wasn't drugs, some kids out of their home to put them into a system they don't need to be in, where they're going to get fucking molested, sold, abused, and just all around fucked over. But that's okay, because they're the good cops. They're saving the children's from, like, CPS across the world has done far more damage than it has done good. And that's a fact. But people support it because it's the virtue signaling aspect of it. Well, if I don't support this thing, then you're a criminal or I'm a bad person. It's just how I was called leftist today, or the zombie fairy. Remember the short I did about zombie fairy explaining how he's a patriot and here to protect and serve, when every penny that he makes from government has been extorted from everybody around him? And of course, he never answered it. No cop has, because the only explanation for it is that you're not a fucking patriot, and that you're not pro-freedom. But you can't convince people of that shit. And they always get mad, and then they default. I was called a leftist and a racist today by, I would guess it would be somebody that identifies with the right. They didn't say that, but when somebody calls somebody a leftist, normally that's what happens. It's the guy on the right. But it don't matter. But anyway, and it's just more. It's a look at all them steaks out there, man. Oh man, I want a steak. A whole bunch of steaks. I'm about to lose my service for at least a minute.
Homemade, cow.
Homegrown cow.
Yeah, homegrown.
We should get a homegrown cow. All right, we'll do that.
Mom's gonna name it Old Bessie.
No, we're not growing it because then we'll never eat it.
Yeah, I know.
Because your mom falls in
Old
love.
Bessie. It's best to eat them before.
We'll do a video about
too
that in a
old,
minute. Yeah, we'll eat it while it's a baby cow.
Well, you can let it grow into a good amount of meat, but you don't want to go years and years and years.
Well, right.
Because
It gets all right tough.
Yeah,
Right.
it's all tough.
I know, right? One wife in here? I don't know. Anyway, so, I mean, but in the video today from the off-grid people, so now there's infighting, right? And that's what they call it's infighting. Now, I'm talking about infighting in the off-grid community, not in any other community. Where Doug and Stacy, I'll just say their names, Doug and Stacy, and got into some other lady, which the bitch was wrong. Doug never said she lied. He basically said, you called this place on Sunday, who do you think is going to answer the phone? I know if I call a corporation on Sunday, the dude that's going to answer the phone named Mikhail, and that was the guy's name. Mikhail is code word for Abdul. Just so you guys didn't know. When they speak in a language, or when they speak English to a point that you can't even understand them, but call themselves Michael, that's just a code word for, Ching Chong Shun or Abdul or some other.
Hello, my name is Kabir Habib Habab. Kabir doesn't care what Habib Habab is. We're on the cup. Don't make you the people today, sir.
Hello, my name is Steve.
Hello, my name is Steve. From customer service.
Oh, shit. But there's fighting, and she's saying that he called her a liar, and it's just a bunch of bullshit. It don't fucking matter. If you're really about protecting the goddamn kids, then protect the kids. Because the same thing that's going to affect the kids and that's affecting the kids today is the same thing that's affecting you. And it's this thing called control. So when you can figure out how they control you, and you narrow that down to the smallest particle, how does control actually happen? Well, then, once you defeat that, I will say that you're protecting the kids. Until then, you're just virtue signaling because you feel bad about something. When in the same video you're complaining about Tractor Supply, you're talking about not making videos about Walmart, who does the same thing at a way larger scale. But he don't know this because he didn't do the research himself. No, he heard what old Uncle Ted, Ted Nugent, the pro-cop, anti-freedom, authoritarian fucking communist, Ted Nugent, who everybody believes is like this American hero for some reason. That's who he heard it from. But Ted didn't tell him about Walmart, therefore he does not know about Walmart. It's just more of the same. More of the same. We are picking up we're supposed to pick it up the other day, we're supposed to pick it up the other day before that, and we just didn't get around to it. But we're here now to pick up a frame for a big ass carport. And this is the end of my trips over here finally. What is this, trip number 5? 4 or 5 we've had to make over here to get this shit. Dude's been actually really cool about it. Just been kind of like, come over here when I can get over here. I can't do 2 things at one time, so hang on. We got... Hold on. Am I gonna hit anything over there? I don't think I am, but look just to make sure. I can see next. Move your big head. We can get a bunch of skids too while we're here. We need to get some big skids that are in that pile over there, and any good ones right there. Any good ones he's got laying around, he said we could take. So we're gonna take them all. But anyhow, protecting the children's the excuse of the nothing doers everywhere. Actually, they do a lot, man. Like I said, if you want to watch Off-Grid, go watch Doug and Stacy. For other than that, I don't know. I'm trying. See Watterson. Nick's talking like a chipmunk. Hey! Don't you dare speak about the way I speak. I'm behind the video, by the way. Catching up 2x the warp speed. Not only that, but what about the socialist BLM orders into all the Rossi donated millions to, especially Amazon. How about Patriot stuff? Amazon stores. Oh yeah, 100% they do, and they won't get rid of them. Did you see the newest one that came out? That like, who didn't fucking see that? What's it called, man? What's it called? The Scotland thing, where you can become a lord by buying.
Oh, buying like what is it like?
What's it called?
Square foot of.
Yeah. What's it called?
I don't know what it's called. But they're sponsoring YouTube, or they're sponsoring YouTubers and stuff.
Yes, and it just came out that like it's a big scam.
Something like that.
Yeah, it just came out. It's a big scam.
Hold on, let me look it up.
Not only is it a scam, it's a Hong Kong company. So what does that mean? That means that these patriots like Gaze and Gizmo's Armed Scholar, there's a 2 that can definitely know for sure was sponsored by this place, took money from a Chinese company. I know Hong Kong's not China, but guess what? They're China now because of COVID. They quit protesting and shit, and China kind of, they kind of own shit over there now. Regardless, though, whatever. They took that big Chinese money to sell you a bunch of shit that was bullshit. Like, I call it bullshit to begin with.
Border Lady title pack?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Right, but who sells it, though? Who sells it?
Hold on, let me see.
Who sells that? Somebody already said it, I'm sure. I did a post about it last night. Fucking shit for Jeffree Star Cosmetics on my phone. Bullshit. Something Titles is the name of it.
Border Lady title.
Yeah, but that's not what it is, though. That's not the name of it. Whatever it is, you guys know what I'm talking about. You've seen them.
Island Titles?
Huh?
Island Titles?
No. They've had sponsorship or commercials on Gaze and Gizmos, Armed Scholar, established titles. There you go. You said it. Thank you. Character Matters. Just came out as a scam. And my first thought when I seen this was like, really it was, my first thought was scam. And then my real first thought was a patriot selling English titles to people in the United States. That's patriotism there. Wanting to get back underneath the crown with your lordship or whatever the fuck it is. And it came out to be bullshit. And it's, kind of false marketing. Not really false marketing because, it was in the small print. But even in the small print, it wasn't really in the small print. So was what they were doing illegal? Nah, it was kind of illegal, sort of illegal. But what it wasn't is what they led you to believe it was. Because a lot of these YouTubers would say it wrong. It's all in the words and how you say the words. So when they said that you could become a real lord, or however it was worded, that was an incorrect way of saying it, and that YouTuber was trying to sell you some bullshit. But the YouTuber that said that whatever they said for them to say, then it would be legal. But then they have a responsibility to look over the videos, or at least the commercials made in their name, before those are posted, and did they do so? It's just it's bullshit. Regardless, though, fuck all that. Forget about it even being a scam. Let's just say it was 100% legit. If you call yourself a patriot, number one, why are you taking Chinese money or Hong Kong money? I don't give a shit what you want to call it, whatever. We'll call it Hong Kongian money if you want, just for the sake of the argument. Hong Kong money. A lot of it, apparently. Number two, why are you trying to sell people shit that gets them kind of back underneath the crown, like legitimately underneath the crown? I mean, because as far as I know, isn't Scotland under Britain's rule? Right? So if you now own land in Scotland and you're now a lord by Scottish law, does anybody see what I'm trying to put together here? I know I'm not explaining it very well. That sounds like that Star Registry stuff. But no, that's different though. Even the video talked about that because like everybody knows that's bullshit. You know what I mean? Like that's not your star. You can't lay claim to that star. Kind of bullshit. But when they say that we had this plot of land and we're going to sell you this many square feet of it and that's yours, and since you own this, you now become a lord or a liar or something.
There was even a dude that, so no government or like no country could own any planets, right?
Live arming sheeple torpedoes. What?
No government or country can own a planet, right? That's what.
Well, I mean,
that's basically what it says. So.
No, well, I mean, what planet? Earth? Yeah, like we could own Earth if we destroyed all the other governments and took it over. Yeah, we'd own Earth.
What I'm trying to say is no other planet outside of Earth. So there's a guy that was selling, I think, for every square foot or something he was selling this $250 per square foot of the moon or something.
And people were buying it.
And people were buying it. Yeah.
Right, because it's like a novelty thing.
Yeah.
Like we could sell, square footage we could sell 100 acres of space if we wanted to, as long as we worded the contract right. $1 million ideal, Travis. Let's do it, bro. And we'll have these patriots.
Steal from Elon Musk.
We'll have these patriots. We'll sponsor their channels and do some patriot shit and sell shit that don't exist. There was all kinds of problems with it. It's in the Constitution. No citizen can have a name of nobility. Well, that was, you know what? It was in the Constitution. That was in the original 13th Amendment, Darren Lyon, which is no longer in the Constitution. They kind of disappeared before it ratified the Constitution. Although it constitutionally amended the Constitution, it never ratified it because it never got there. It never got entered into the Library of Congress and shit. And like the proof that exists in my eyes is the New Hampshire House Bill 638 from 2013. You can Google it and it pops up, and the bill does. And it's a bill to recognize the original 13th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States. Original being the key term in that. All you need is a printer and a shipping office. Shit, you don't even need that. When I was selling golf balls, I was doing that shit out of a 2-bedroom apartment.
I remember.
You remember all the golf balls?
Yes. I remember you guys were just going.
Oh, wrapping boxes?
Yeah.
Packing boxes?
You're just like putting
God, it was such a nightmare.
Peanuts, golf ball, peanuts, wrap, and then.
Yep. Boxes, empty pallets of boxes.
I remember.
Empty shipping boxes.
I remember that.
We could do that again. Probably get our door kicked in again, but we could do it again. Because someone would be like, oh my God, he's a scary felon. He can't do good for himself. He can't do anything by the law. And like I said, the funny part was like they completely missed. Do you remember the red? Do you remember the red Cavalier that was outside that nobody ever?
The convertible?
Yes. Do you remember? It was in the parking lot the whole time with the trunk full of guns. The whole time.
I didn't even know
Yeah.
that was full of guns.
Yeah, the whole time. Fucking, but they were too stupid. They were so focused on the bullshit they didn't even really see the shit that was.
So that's why we never drove it, or like.
Yeah, we never drove it because
you rented a
not that buying or selling guns was illegal, but like they could have tied it up and try to make a whole bunch bigger deal out of it than what it was.
I remember you rented it was like a black SUV or something.
No, we drove a Mazda 5. Yeah, I put like 15,000 miles on it, like 3 months. Yeah, ran the shit out of it. Then they stole it. Bastards.
That's why we never. I didn't know that.
Because they didn't have no kitty touchers to get that week in Sharonville, apparently. Too busy chasing me around the fucking country. Don't get doors kicked. Yeah, I'm not, man. That's why we don't do it no more. It would be as easy as a couple phone calls to start doing that again. But it's not what are you willing to risk knowing the outcome of it. You know what I mean? Even though you don't do anything wrong, like people believe because you're arrested or even that you go to prison that you've had to have done something wrong. And that's not the case. Sometimes they put you in a position where you have no options. Your options are very limited, at least. And I've explained it before, the options in that was go to trial, I win. There was no doubt. Everybody agreed, like, this is a fucking slam dunk win. They have nothing on you. The problem is that one gun and them charging Christie with a gun. And the way the law read, because you put 12 idiots in a fucking box and they're nothing. Our system is flawed and people should recognize that. I just did work for a lady who calls herself pro-freedom. And I explained to her how many people had been executed by government that were completely innocent, that we know that are innocent. We know that there's over 180 people that have been executed in this country since we've been keeping count, that we later found out were completely innocent of the crime they were executed for. That's how many we know of. So the number that has actually probably been executed that were innocent is far higher. But she's pro-death penalty. I'm like, how can you be pro-death penalty and say you're pro-freedom? Don't you care about the 180 people that what you support killed? And she's like, no. I was like, then how are you pro-freedom? Like, you can't beat it in people's skulls, man. People are just fucking stupid. I'm surrounded by, I just need to get an island somewhere. But you can't even do that anymore. So now you're fighting governments that think they got control over you. I just need to build a big wall, a dome, big concrete dome. Lots of artificial lighting over our little plot of...
Yeah, then SEAL Team 6 put an explosive.
Yep.
Boom.
Yep, SEAL Team 6 to come after us. The Cavalier probably had a bloated head. Actually, it didn't. What was the motor those had in them? Mine was the V6 one. Was it 2.4? Was that the V6 they had in them? I forget now. No, 2.4 is a 4-cylinder.
I think the last time we drove in that, I remember...
It was like a 98 Cavalier convertible. It was actually a really nice car.
It was.
It was a really nice car until the subframe broke in half on it.
Is it a roll cage so this doesn't crush you whenever you roll over?
Yeah, it is. And these trucks are actually under-engineered where there was a lawsuit for these trucks because of the cabs crushing if you roll them over. So we should talk Mom and let me put a cage in here.
Because, well, in a normal car, it would go up and around and then up and do an X right here.
Well, it depends on what kind of cage you're talking about. Like we could do a 2-point cage in here and just put a roll bar behind the back seat. Or we could do a 4-point and do a roll bar here and behind the back seat and tie them together. Or we could do an 8-point. So all the points is how many points it attaches to the car. It's like a 2-point attaches to 2 places, 4.4 places, and so on. Or we could just get stupid crazy with it and just put a full chassis in this thing. Get rid of the factory frame, build a full tube chassis for it. For a $8,000 truck. Or we could just really not be that concerned about it because the chances of us flipping over anywhere than Travis's place is pretty slim. That's probably our highest likelihood of rolling this thing is the Travis's.
Unless a drunk semi is just like, T-bone.
If a semi hit us, we'd probably be dead, so it wouldn't matter at that point.
I wonder if it hit us like right here in the front.
Then you'd probably be dead.
Not right here. Like I'm talking about, like if it clipped us in the front.
Think about the momentum. It depends on a lot of factors, but think about the momentum. If we're just sitting still and the semi hits us doing 70. I mean, the momentum for that would probably break your neck. Just your body's spinning faster than your head could catch up. But the human body's resilient, thank God. You'd probably live through that. I'd probably die. Nick's confused about what? Like that's not news. I'm always confused. I'm confused why people are sheep. Why they need to be told everything. Why they love being slaves or being oppressed. Or how are you confused when we call it legal when government does it, and we call the men who do it heroes, but if I was to do the same fucking thing, you'd call me a criminal who deserved to die. How does that work? Construct of belief. Bullshit. That's how it works. People convince them shit is shit that ain't real. Outside cages are way cooler. Exoskeleton cages, is that what they call them? Exo cages. They're way easier to build too. And make good lashing points. Yeah. My truck actually has pretty good lashing points in the back.
Like a roll cage instead of inside, you put it outside.
Yeah. But then there's problems that come with that too. Like, for instance, when you take a body panel off. Are they outside?
Well, one of them is they're about to go hunting or something.
Oh, yeah. All right, I got to go. I got to get this thing, get out of here. Stay safe. Peace.